Main man, made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Yeah, I'm still on a mission. I'm still out here on the road making some moves real quick. But I want to chime in real quick because I heard the news that Anthony Joshua, as well as Eddie Hearn, his promoter, has accepted the rematch clause or invoked the rematch clause, and they will immediately go into a rematch with Andy Ruiz at the end of this year. They're looking at November or December. No venue has been named, no date has been given. And there's a lot of boxing fans out here that's saying that they don't think that's the right decision. There's a lot of folks out here talking about that they think that Andy Ruiz should pump his brakes. I mean, not Andy Ruiz, I'm sorry. Anthony Joshua needs to pump his brakes. He needs to wait. And he shouldn't immediately go back into a rematch. Well, I disagree. I heavily disagree. I think that the best move for Anthony Joshua, and I'm not here to give Anthony Joshua no tips, but the best move for Anthony Joshua is to immediately go back into a rematch. If Anthony Joshua wants to win some respect from the red-blooded Americans over here, you have to go back into that rematch immediately. This is how greats move. They don't hesitate. They don't wait. Here's the deal. There's a lot of folks out there. Shout out to Andy Ruiz on a great win. Great victory all day. He deserves 100% full credit. No doubt. Fast hands for the beautiful fight. But I gotta say this. People are saying that AJ shouldn't go back into the rematch, but let's remember something. AJ, to me, was winning the fight prior to the third round. AJ, to me, got hit with a shot that he could not recover from. That's not to say that every fight goes that way. He got hit with a temple shot. A temple shot. Tree Duck says, let's see a full Snickers sponsorship too, all day. All day. Brother Reality in the building. What's up with you, fam? What's up with you? But look, man, the point I'm trying to make is he got hit with a temple shot that he could not recover from, right? Who's to say that happens like that again? Let's not forget, prior to that temple shot, he knocked Andy Ruiz down. First time Andy Ruiz has ever been down. First time ever. And y'all telling me that this dude shouldn't go back into an immediate rematch? Some people believe that the next time around it's going to be worse for AJ. I don't know, man. I don't think he should wait. I think he should go back. Look, it was Andy Ruiz's night. He let a good punch go. It landed perfectly. He could not recover from that shot. But prior to that shot, AJ was doing his usual thing. I think he should learn from that loss. Learn to basically fight better on the back foot or don't go on the back foot at all. See, when AJ fights and he uses his jab, when he works behind a jab or his 1-2, he's normally coming forward. He's rarely retreating and backtracking as much as he did in that fight. I have never seen AJ retreat nor backtrack as much as I ever saw in that fight. Take the damn rematch. Just because that what happened in the first fight happened the way it did, it played out the way it did. You got hit with a temple shot. You have probably never been hit with a temple shot like that his entire career. His entire career, he's probably never been hit with a shot that way. Most of us thought he was going to beat Andy Ruiz. And he was beating Andy Ruiz prior to the third round. That simple shot. I think he needs to go in there, and I'm glad, and I think he made the right decision to immediately take this rematch. The glory that's waiting for him on the other side, when he goes back into this rematch, if he can get the win, the glory that lines up on the other side is huge. It basically reinstates him to what he was prior to this. Now, he's not going to seem nearly as invincible, no. But he will be reinstated in the eyes of his supporters. He'll be back on the mission for DAZN to try to win over the American audience. And most importantly, it shows heart. And that's another way that you win over the American public. Show your heart. Wear your heart on your sleeve, cuz. You hear me though? So I applaud AJ. I don't say this often, but I applaud him for immediately taking this rematch. That tells me that this dude really wants it, because we were going down the road of calling him a quitter and saying he don't want it no more. Him taking this immediate rematch tells me, well, maybe he wants it. Maybe he realized I had an off night. I got hit with a good shot. So be it. I'm ready to go back. Because who's to say that shot is going to land again? It ain't landed his whole career. His whole career, that temple shot has never landed. And you telling him, and we gotta keep it a buck, fight fans. Even for Andy Ruiz, who dominated that fight, what allowed him to dominate that fight was the temple shot. That's what allowed him. That's what made him so much more faster than AJ. That's what made him have a much better game plan than AJ. That one temple shot, fight fans. We don't know if that shot lands again. We don't know. All we do know is prior to that shot, he put Andy down for the first time in his career. It says Dan Raphael is reporting that AJ trashed the dressing room after the fight. Yeah, I'm sure he in his feelings. I'm sure he heavily emotional right now. I'm sure he trashed that dressing room. I would have trashed the damn dressing room. I would have trashed the dressing room. I would have trashed the limo. I would have kicked the limo driver up out of there. I would have went on a plane. I would have crashed the plane. I would have trashed the plane. I would have kicked the pilot off. I would have been pissed. Low Blow Champ in the building. What's up with you? I would have been pissed. And the point I'm making to y'all fight fans, I'm pulling to this gas station real quick, man. I gotta run in there and give me some roll-ups. But the point I'm trying to make to y'all fight fans is simple. The man got hit with a good shot, and he has no reason not to go back into an immediate rematch. You have to show who you are to the American public. Y'all don't understand. And maybe some of my fellow brethren, they don't want him to take that rematch because they know the reward that lies on the other side. I know. Because I know my people over here. And I know how we are suckers for comeback stories. And I know how we are suckers for underdog stories. If this dude come back, and this is why I was asking earlier in an earlier video, should the rematch be in the UK or the United States? Because let's say he go to the UK, he beats Andy Ruiz. Then maybe we talking a trilogy. You finish the third fight here in America. Because in order for you to get the full credit that you really want, you got to beat Andy Ruiz in front of us. You get me? Real shit, man. You got to do it in front of us. So if you beat Ruiz in the UK, which I think that Ruiz should have more say-so over, but if you do, you got to do it one more time if you really want to be restored in an American's eyes. And I'm keeping it 100, Brits, to all my Brits, to all my UK fam. I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. He could go over there and beat Ruiz in front of y'all. It'll just bring you back into his column. But if he wants to bring new people in, he's got to do it here. Brother Reality says, how can AJ call where the fight is going to be after he lost? He shouldn't. He shouldn't. And I don't think that's right. That's some foul stuff. This man went in there and did the impossible, short notice, and took 4 belts. It's no way in hell that AJ should be calling any shots in the rematch. He shouldn't. I agree with you 100% on that, Brother Reality. And this is what prevents when people jump on Deontay Wilder and they say, well, why he didn't sign this deal or why he didn't sign that deal? Because he don't want to give up this kind of ground where if I beat you, then in the rematch, you telling me what I have to do. Wilder's the kind of cat that don't go for stuff like that. You know what I mean? Real talk. But Tree Duck says he could make millions from that. Look, man, Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua, Aside from Wilder and Fury, let's just put walls up around Wilder and Fury right now because they're irrelevant when it comes to this situation. I'm not even talking about Wilder when it comes to AJ right now until he fixes this Andy Ruiz problem. There's no need for us to talk about Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury until this Andy Ruiz problem gets up out the way. I got the fan Monty Brown in the building. The rematch will happen because of Eddie Hearn's feelings. AJ feel like he let the Hearns down more than himself. Hey, Monty, I don't know if that's good for a fighter, Monty. I truly don't know, because we always known a fighter to fight for his family, his financial future, or stuff like that, his honor, his glory. I've never known many fighters that got such an allegiance to a promoter where they are afraid of letting their promoter down. You feel me, fam? Like I've never seen that, I don't think, ever before in boxing. The fact of the matter is, for everybody out there who's like, yo, man, Eddie Hearn is powering up AJ and making him do something that he don't want to do. I got the fan Ronnie Boy Fresh in the building. What's up, homie? What's up with you? For everybody who is saying that, yo, man, he's making him do something he don't want to do, I disagree, man. I think that this is what AJ wants. I think a lot of people who have certain animosities built up towards him or whatever, and I got my own. I'm not gonna act like I'm any different, but we're trying to see something that I don't think it's there. I'm gonna be 100 with you. We're thinking far too deep into this situation. Oh, he needs to go to the drawing board. He needs to restart. He needs to switch trainers. He needs to do this and he needs to do that. I don't think he need to do none of that. I just think that it was the moon lined up just right with the stars, and that temple shot came from out of nowhere. A shot that never landed his entire career. He has never, don't get me wrong, AJ has always had his recovery issues. There's been times in the past he's needed 2-3 rounds to recover. But man, this particular, it took him about 4 to 5 rounds to, he probably never recovered. I've never seen that happen before with this dude. Which lets me know that shot that Andy Ruiz landed was a special shot, man. That was a special punch. And we don't know if it lands twice. Is it really forcing when you making 30 M's a fight all day? He's still technically a winner, huh, Ronnie Boy Fresh? Let me get a cut of that shit. You hear me, ho? You hear me, though? Word of the day in the building. What's up, fam? He was out of his feet or something. Out on his feet or something. Yeah, he was. But my point I'm trying to make is, man, when people say that he should not immediately go into the rematch, I just don't get it. He worked hard for them belts. Whether I think, y'all already know my feelings about AJ. I'm not trying to bring him into this video, but the dude worked hard for years to get those belts. You telling me that you want to just let those belts float away? You want to just sit back and just say, oh, no, I'm not going to take the rematch. I'm going to go to the drawing board, find me a new trainer, and start from scratch. He going to do that after having 3 major belts and 1 underling belt. Just let it fly. Bullshit. And if he did it, I would lose more respect for him. I would lose more respect. You got more than enough time to put together a proper game plan for Andy Ruiz. You got more than enough time. And on top of that, this fight possibly is going down in your backyard. You have no reason to accept this, not to accept this rematch. You have no reason, bro. No reason. How will Ruiz handle the pressure? I got to admit, man, Ruiz look like he flying right now, Joe. He looking like he is comfortable in his own skin. He is happy to be, providing for his family and his mama now. Y'all see, hey, yo, man, I've replayed that press conference clip when he telling his mama we ain't got to struggle no more. You did. Like, do you know the feeling? You as a son telling your mama that what I did with these hands, we don't got to struggle no more. You did. Man. So when it comes to pressure, whether it's media pressure or pressure from the fans, I think Ruiz can handle it very, very well. For real, man. Ronnie Boy Fresh says that's lame shit. Abandon a team that's helped get you there. Exactly. You don't do no shit like that. Don't even educate it. Word on the curb is that AJ came out on social media, let the world know he's standing with McCracken and he's standing with Eddie Hearn. I got my problems and my issues with Eddie Hearn, but I think Anthony Joshua would be a stupid fool to leave Eddie Hearn right now. And I'm keeping it a buck with you. Eddie is trying to give you the world. It ain't his fault that your talent ain't up to the level of gaining the world. He's trying to give you, bro. You like the most paid boxer. Your guarantee is locked. Fuck is y'all talking about? He getting like $30 million a fight, 3 belts in less than 25 fights, and you think Eddie Hearn did something wrong? I got my issues with Eddie from Wilder's standpoint, but if I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm a happy ass dude. I'm a happy ass dude. Y'all wonder why that dude always trotting around laughing and smiling all the damn time. You check his bank account and I'm sure you'll see the reason why. I'm trying to tell you, man. Low Blow Champ says his corner didn't do well for the Ruiz fight, but we'll see. They get the second chance to turn it around. Yeah, they better. They better, because this is it. This is for all the marbles. And, you know, I'm going to tell you something, man. You got to take great chances to get great rewards. You know, I honestly, man, I'm going to tell you something. If AJ and Hearn would have came out and said, yo, we're going to take the rematch and we're going to take it back in America. Man, do you know how much respect for that dude I would have had, man? Do you know I would have sat back like, damn. I'm blown away by that. Now, we might didn't get it in America, but for him to immediately take this rematch, I think is the best thing for him, his story, his accomplishments. If he can succeed in doing this, the odds might seem a little tall to him right now, but if he can succeed in doing this, I'm telling you, he gonna come out of this shit clean. But he got to get past Andy Ruiz, man. Got to get past him. Speaking a lot of truth, fam, all day, big faces. Wani Boy Fresh, even if AJ is a fraud, Eddie did his job finessing the boxing fans. That's his job, bro. You real talk. If I'm a promoter, you look at the definition, that's it. To finesse boxing fans. To make them think I got the greatest thing in the world. And sell it to them. Whoever buys it, buys it. And Eddie did a good job of that. Some people's eyes may be open like myself. Like my main man, Ronnie Boy Fresh. Our eyes may be open, but there's a lot of people whose eyes isn't open. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you, homie. Yeah, they should run it back in New York again or Cali. Yeah, man, that'd have been cool too. That would have been cool. I thought Cali would have been perfect. But, you know, once again, AJ and Hearn, they put you in these deals where the small print will tell you we get to call the shots in a rematch, even if we lose. And that is something that is just new to me as a boxing fan. I've always thought that the winner calls the shots in the second time around, but today's boxing, if you're going to fight a top tier guy, you're going to have to accept the terms in the initial fight and then turn around have to accept the same terms, even if you win, in the rematch. That's new. That's that 2019 boxing right there. You hear me? Ronnie Boy Fresh says, Ruiz said he is not going to the UK. I heard that. My deal is, if you signed on the dotted line, Holmes, you should have knew what the hell you signed. This is why Wilder never signed, because he read the small print. Now, if you sign on the dotted line and the small print says rematch will be in UK, guess what, Andy? You taking your ass to the UK. You should have got your peoples on that shit from day one. Like, hold up, I'll accept this fight on short notice, but we need to change those rematch talks. Cadillac Red in the building. Salute to you all day. Yeah, so I mean that's something that he should have known. And so if he want to put up this legal fight, Andy Ruiz may not have a leg to stand on if that's what he signed. Now, if it ain't in the contract, then no, you ain't got to accept no new terms. Hit that thumbs up for me while y'all slide through. Whether you're fam or whether you just see me for the first time, hit that thumbs up for the homie. Sheldon Holmes in the building. What's up with you? Man, salute all day. Vegas is the perfect place. Vegas would be cool, but I think Cali or New York, where the initial fight went down, I think it would be more bigger there for me, because in New York is where it all started. In Cali is actually Andy Ruiz's fan base. So I think in those two places, to me, are the best places. When you talking about UK, it's like you're rewarding him for losing. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But then again, I guess the first fight was in New York, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, I'm very impressed. And I'm very happy that AJ decided to go into this rematch. You need to win your glory back. Start making sacrifices and to do great things. And stop expecting things to be handed to you. Stop expecting your Charles Martin wins to resonate with us. Stop expecting your wins over Takum to resonate with us and Joe Parker to resonate with us. Do something great. Do something that wins us. And let's go back into this rematch and get the job done. Preferably in front of the American audience. Ruiz got IBF problems right now. Yeah, I heard that deal about the IBF who want to try to enforce their mandatory possibly. You know what I'm saying? Kubrat Pulev being the mandatory. Kubrat Pulev got kissy problems, man. Let him. I thought he was dealing with that whole court case thing or whatnot with the girl and for kissing the girl. You know, man, IBF need to sit their ass down because there's a bigger picture at hand here. We're talking about an undisputed heavyweight champion trying to get to that goal. So the IBF, for this particular purpose, need to sit their ass down. I get it. They got a strict reputation of enforcing their mandatories. I understand. But for this, Eddie Hearn claims he can pull some strings. He claims if Andy Ruiz accepts the rematch that he can push the IBF off. We'll see how powerful Eddie really is if he got that kind of pull. The IBF will strip Ruiz. They attempted to strip Tyson Fury. Remember the same thing. I remember that when that's why Tyson Fury had to give up that IBF title the second he took it up off Klitschko, because they were threatening to strip him if he didn't do the mandatory, because he wanted to do the rematch with Klitschko. But it is what it is. Oh, you say Eddie will work it out? Yeah, Eddie claims he can work it out. So we're going to give Eddie some space on that and see if he can actually make that happen. But if Andy Ruiz, Andy Ruiz is giving up. He's accepting your terms. He's coming to the UK. He's immediately accepting the rematch. Eddie, man, you better call up the IBF, throw some money around, do what the hell you got to do, and calm them dudes. Do what you got to do, Eddie. Make it happen. Brother Reality says, got to keep it real, man. I don't see AJ beating Ruiz the second time around. Okay. I could dig that, Mo. I could dig that. I want to see how Ruiz, look, I thought Ruiz fought a beautiful fight, like I said before. I also think that Ruiz landed the perfect punch. How often will that punch land on AJ? And how often has that punch ever landed on AJ? A temple shot that he could not recover from, which gave Andy Ruiz every single advantage in that fight for the remainder of that fight. Let's see if it can happen again. That's all I'm saying. I think we're going to see the shit, but Ruiz won't go down next time over inside of 5. Damn! If that happens, if Andy Ruiz stops AJ one more time, what the fuck is this car doing in front of me, man? If he stops AJ one more time, let me back up a little bit, then guess what? If he does that, he's the #1 heavyweight in the country. He's the #1 heavyweight in the world. Fuck the country. He's the #1 heavyweight in the world all day. And he will have that accolade all day if he could beat this man twice and solidify his legacy. I hope so. But hats off to AJ, hats off to Matchroom for accepting this for this immediate rematch. Not putting up a bunch of obstacles, pile of shit, pile of tricks. Not just giving a bunch of crap. They going right back into this like some warriors, and I can't do nothing but respect that shit. You did. Can't do nothing but respect that shit. Yeah, man. So it is what it is, man. About this car, man, I'm sitting at this gas station and shit. You dig? I'm about to get up out of here, man. I'll probably get back up with y'all once I get into the crib. If not, I will definitely see y'all tomorrow night on We Talking Boxing. We got a lot to talk about. They say that boy Amir Khan about to make like $8 to $9 million though, and I don't hear nobody speaking on that. We got a lot to talk about, fight fans, and I am going to wait till I can sit into a comfy chair and really chop it up with y'all. Much love. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Enjoy the rest of the boxing news. Hats off to AJ for actually accepting this rematch. I think it's the best course for him so he can pick up where he left off and pursue undisputed. I want to see an undisputed champion. I just think that Deontay Wilder is going to be the guy, but I'll leave it there. To the next one, man. I have to ask you, brother, how do you feel about Harrison pulling out of the fight? Man, you know, I respect injuries. If a fighter tell me he's injured, I respect it. I understand a lot of fighters lie and they lie to get out of certain situations, but I don't get that from Tony Harrison. I've never gotten that from Tony Harrison, whether it was him accepting the Hurd fights, whether it was him accepting the Charlo fights, whether it was him chumping Charlo. I just truly don't think that Tony Harrison is the kind of guy that will just put crap out there just to get out of a fight, especially to an opponent where he thoroughly believes he can beat and beat easily again. I don't think so. Ronnie Boy Fresh say Tony's scared. Nah, man. I think Tony the real deal, bro. I think he honestly injured. And, you know, injury, boy, it's like football. You know, if you play football, you're going to get injured. If you play boxing, the hurt business, you're going to get injured. You dig what I'm saying? Much love to y'all, though, man. I got the road. Ronnie Boy Fresh says Tony ain't prepared. We going to elaborate. You gonna have to explain that to me, Ronnie Boy Fresh, on the live stream all day. We gonna have to explain that. We gonna go in on this issue. Much love to y'all, and I chop it up with y'all soon. To the next one. Peace out.